will start things off for the Redbirds. She will serve. We're underway here at Extreme. Right at the net. Hawkeyes will try and play it, but immediately a great block by the Redbirds. They're on the board first.
A slower first point there from the Iowa defense. Just couldn't get it back off the net at all, give themselves any time to run up for that.
Here's the serve again from Clark. But the other side to Warden. Set up. Great dig there. Warden again. Great block, though, from the Redbirds. They get another one on the board.
Illinois State feeling smooth, feeling calm at the beginning. You notice there immediately the double block from Illinois State's defense, and that's something Iowa's going to have to take note of early, especially if they want to go to Warden throughout this match.
And that was Kennedy Guest that helped out there on the block. She leads the team so far in blocks this season. As that one stays inbound, Hawkeyes will cut the lead in half. They're on the board.
A quick turnaround there. Weren't able to get the double block on that side, but now we'll see Iowa's first chance to get some extra points up on the board.
Milana Moisio will start things off and serving for the Hawkeyes, and right off the bat, Hawkeyes will tie it up.
Transfer coming in from Miami, Florida, where she spent 3 seasons with the Hurricanes. A really good pickup that Jim Barnes has been really high on throughout the start of this season.
Another great serve from Moisio. Not able to get a shot there on the Redbirds as the Hawkeyes now. Warden, big block once again for the Redbirds, and they retake the lead.
Illinois State, they've done their film, they've done their scouting, they're ready for Warden there on that outside attack. The double block yet again. I always have to find a way to draw the attention away from her in this first set.
This is Olivia Saputo now, serving for the Redbirds. Ammeraal will send it the other way. That's Fares with the shot. Back on the Hawkeye side now, Warden. Another block by this front row for the Redbirds. Guest and Logan Gravengood having their way in the front.
I know it's still very early in this first set, but trying the same exact thing there. Going the Warden on the outside, right into the double block. They're going to have to find someone else. We talked about that Butler match yesterday. Sure, Warden was great, but a lot of other players were fantastic as well.
Hawkeyes will set up Fares. Good dig there. The Redbirds will send it back the other way. Ammeraal back to Fares. Can't get it over the net. And it's a 3-point lead for Illinois State.
Fares just found a little behind that. Wasn't able to almost play behind the ball, run up into it. Just had to jump straight towards the ball and try to tap it over. And of course, was just a little short of getting to it.
Saputo now once again. The serve for Illinois State. That'll go past the end line. Hawkeyes will get it back. First substitution for the Hawkeyes. Jamie Marquardt will come in for Carmo Fares. Marquardt will serve now as well. Played there up front by Clark, tapped over. Ammeraal will send it her way. Big shot, big block, but sent back again by the Redbirds. Hawkeyes will look to answer. Ammeraal will send it by. Redbirds cannot defend that one, and the Hawkeyes are within one.
Talk about the strength of a punch right there from Ammeraal. I mean, she's only gotten stronger the past few years, and you see that right there, going right towards that back corner and forcing her to make a play on that.
Had a triple-double against Utah Tech last week. 11 kills, 17 digs, and 41 assists. Unbelievable. It's another shot from the Redbirds. Will go past the end line, and the Hawkeyes tie things up.
Abby Reck there, the outside hitter for the Redbirds, just trying to go back to that back corner, a little bit underneath it, and just floated that ball too far.
Marquardt, serve it again. Mark will try and set up for Gravengood, and then it goes out again. Hawkeyes now, that's 4 unanswered points. They take the lead.
And again, just overshooting right now. Iowa's defense just needs to be able to stay in position at this point, can let the ball flow back to them. They're not really going for those spikes so far this early.
Clark will play to Reck. Big block for the Hawkeyes. They look to answer back. Warden with the big shot. And it's just out. Tied back up again. Redbirds will have it back. Looks like it's going to be Ariana Rossi who will serve for Illinois State. Libero from Bergamo, Italy. She serves it to Moisio. And Ammeraal, quick serve, but Redbirds will send it back the other way. And Ammeraal will try again, and she gets it to go this time. Hawkeyes back in front.
Really good read from Ammeraal there on Illinois State's positioning. She saw an open spot in the court and knew as soon as she got it, she didn't want to take any chances of it being covered up and go straight to it there in the middle. Of course, tipped and then fallen back there for the point.
Park will look to set up. Hawkeyes can't recover there, and Illinois State will tie it back up. And back and forth we go as that was the freshman, Nikayla Rogers, getting a kill on the board. She had 5 against Oakland last Sunday. Didn't see much action yesterday, but she's back out there early. Another freshman for Illinois State, Ella Craggs, will serve. Another great setter for this Redbirds team is they'll try and recover their. Craggs will send it over. Ammeraal sets up Whittingstall for the kill. Hawkeyes back in front.
Well, I want to bring up a point as you just mentioned so many freshmen off the bat for Illinois State. It is their best recruiting class in program history. They're projected to finish 3rd in the Missouri Valley Conference in all the preseason projections.
Whittingstall to serve, and it stays in. Right off the bat, Whittingstall off the bench with an ace.
A shot from Whittingstall to go to the back there. Just a misread from the Redbird defense. Thought they'd go flying back a little bit more, but there was enough top spin there from Whittingstall that it fell right in bounds.
She'll send it over again, this time well outside.
And that one was a little bit easier to read.
Yes,
I would say so myself. Say, even out there, like that, just talking about that last one again, it can't be easy to read any of those, especially trying to read the spin on the ball, who's got the ball itself, what position you're in.
Hawkeyes with a slight misplay. They can't recover there, and Illinois State will tie it up at 9.
If you're Jim Barnes right now, if you're seeing that's the most of your mistakes today, you're probably going to feel pretty okay with things because that'll flesh out, it'll smooth out as the match goes on. They'll feel a little bit better and warmed up.
Ammeraal will set up Van Zandt on the outside. Good dig by Rossi. Big block by the Hawkeyes. That's Van Zandt and Sashka Stojanovic to team up on the block, and the Hawkeyes the first to hit double digits today.
Van Zandt getting some time here in set 1. Transfer from Chattanooga. I call that the Van Zandt point right there. She was there to send it back over for the block and was ready for each spot.
Ammeraal to serve. Max will set it up. That one goes out. Saputo just not able to keep it in bounds on the shot. Hawkeyes now up by 2.
I think Saputo there, she saw Iowa Stevens coming up right there to try to go for the ball, so she tried to push it over last minute instead of going down, and that's what ultimately led to it being out.
Tipped by the Hawkeyes. Good save there from Warden. Fares will lightly send it over. Ammeraal to Fares again. Big shot. Hawkeyes will look to answer again. They'll try and set it up here. Stojanovic with a big kill. And the Hawkeyes now up by 3.
The best rally of the day so far. I'll go back to Varas there, showing you see the blockers in front, getting it over, and then Stojanovic getting set up perfectly to get over the blockers for the kill.
Craggs sets it up. And a good kill there from Ruth Ziegler. And Illinois State will hit 10 points.
Claire Ammeraal was there for Iowa's defense and just had to turn to the side and couldn't get her wrists churned up enough to point it back towards the net. Instead, it just carries back behind her.
Kayla Rogers to serve, and that goes out of bounds. Good job for the Hawkeyes to not make a play for the ball. They have it back.
Iowa now with a 3-point lead, and it's kind of what we were saying at the top of the show, Charlie. It feels like this one could be very back and forth, two semi-even teams.
Van Zandt to serve. It's going to be played along the net, and the Hawkeyes will get rewarded the point there.
And that violation, I believe, by Kennedy Guest there for the Redbirds, just as she went up to set it up for outside hitter, connected with the nets.
Yeah, Craig's set just goes kind of in that awkward area of the net. Not really able to make a play on it without making some sort of violation, and the Hawkeyes will benefit from it. Crags will set it up to Saputo. Nice dig from Moisio. Van Zandt will send it over. Guest with a big shot, and she'll get it to go. Illinois State pulls within 3.
Well, campfire right there in the middle of the court, wide open, and Illinois State capitalizing on the opportunity. Look at the replay right here again. Finding its way from the floor pretty much to the outside hitter and getting it right in front of that open space.
Audrey Clark to serve. Probably the best setter on this team. Has 83 assists so far this season. In every match so far this season, she's bested her career high as another kill for the Hawkeyes. They're back up front by 4.
Stojanovic right there. Kind of goes right at the blockers, but knows that she hits the outside of the hand there. Tries to go right to the outside. She's going to find an open spot. Does hit that hand a little bit. The ball misdirection and is not able to be picked up by the defense. In the Missouri Valley Conference postseason, she led her athletes to 4 major awards in that tournament alone. She's done well, and she's had this team in right position all match long so far.
Big shot. Great dig there from Audrey Clark. Hawkeyes will try and go again. They go back to Clark. She cannot defend it this time. And the Hawkeyes will increase their lead to 5 off the Varez kill.
I would say a lot of the returns from Illinois State, or even if you go back a few points ago to carry it from the floor all the way off to opposite side of the outside hitter, a lot of it's just the positioning from head coach Allie Matters.
And the Redbirds somehow kept it from hitting the floor briefly, but just can't get it over the net. Great serve from Moisio. She'll get another chance to send it over.
Love the effort there, though.
Like that, maybe it was going to go past the end line, but Redbirds will send it over. Varez with a shot. Doesn't go over the net, and Illinois State will get one on the board.
It's a tough miss there. They'll have to shake it off and move to the next one. And at this point, a 5-point lead for Iowa. You're very comfortable shaking it off, saying, hey, we can move the next one. That's not going to hurt us too much as long as we get the next point.
Serve there from Saputo. Hawkeyes. A little bit of a misplay there from Greta Schlichter. And Illinois State will have it back. They cut the lead to 4.
It's one thing Illinois State's capitalized on a few points here so far in this first set is trying to go to that back row and forcing Iowa to bring it back up because they're turning their bodies completely and not really turning the wrists at all to turn it back up.
Ammeraal will set up Warden. Not able to get there in time was Saputo, and the Hawkeyes have possession back.
Look at this replay right here, going to the outside. Alyssa Warren again, as you mentioned, sees those blockers come up for Illinois State. Instead of just trying to go right into them, set it as hard as she can, knows that if she taps it over, the point is still a point there.
Sent over, big block for the Hawkeyes. Whittingstall in the mix. I believe Warden was in there as well. Marquardt to serve once again. Laid up by Clark. Big shot again. Hawkeyes will have to send it back over. That's going to be sailing out of bounds. Illinois State will have it back.
Hopefully Marquardt there just hit it on her way down instead of on her way up towards that one. See her again, or excuse me, that was number 17, Schleicher. Just missed on that one.
Rossi to serve. It goes to Whittingstall. Tipped on the shot, but still gets it to hit the floor, and the Hawkeyes hit 20.
And now they're starting to pull away, stringing together a few points consistently, and they're going to get a feel of everything they want. You're going backwards there for the outside hitter, and Hannah Whittingstall gets the easy point.
How about that pass from Ammeraal as well, as that goes out of bounds off of the Warden serve. Redbirds make it a 5-point game. We'll get some substitutions in there as well.
Second service error there, or excuse me, that's third service error. Oh, that's second service error. I know how to read sometimes. I love SAP broadcasts.
Hawkeyes to try and send it over, they will do so. Rossi will play it to Craggs. Big dig there for the Hawkeyes as they'll look to send it back over Van Zandt. Craggs will set it up for Reck. Big block for the Hawkeyes. Still keeping it up. Worden sends it back over. Set up again. Big block again for the Hawkeyes. And off the rally, they get 21 out of it.
Perfect timing there from Whittingstall to get that block. She didn't go too early. Didn't give Illinois State much of a chance to read that she was going to go for that. And then just right there in time for the block. There's only a single block there. Notice a few times with Iowa, especially they've done the outside double block, but it's her and Claire Ammeraal up there. And there's been a few times they're a little spaced out. And absolutely, he's a program builder when what he's doing here in Iowa, coming from Tulane a few years ago. He's put together 6 top 20 recruiting classes. He's made 4 appearances in the postseason, including first NCAA Sweet 16 run at Baylor.
Great job by Saputo earlier to get that dig. And once again, not able to get it over the net, though. It was great effort by Rossi, once again, of the Redbirds. But the Hawkeyes will increase their lead to 7.
And Jim Barnes just does a lot of bringing these rosters up, building them to a really good spot. And I feel like that's what you can see with this Iowa team right now. Is there's a lot of talent on that roster right now.
That serve goes out of bounds. So the Redbirds will have it back.
Now, Whittingstall in our serve just keeps trying for that back row, and she just barely missed that again. Floats it up to the top, and really close, but good read there from Illinois State to let it go.
Serve from Abby Reck. Ammeraal on the outside. Out of bounds from Van Zandt. It's a 5-point game.
Flat palm the hit there. Really good look there from Van Zandt. But just not enough top spin on it. Floated a hair too long. It was questionable whether it would be in or not. And obviously there, that angle, it's very obvious.
That serve also goes out from Reck, and the Hawkeyes now up 23-17.
They've really taken control of this set in the second half of it, Charlie. We talked about at the beginning, it was back and forth. Illinois State got some good points off with Iowa, and it's not like, sure, there's been a few errors here and there. They've gifted a few points to each other, but they've both had some really clean plays so far.
Ammeraal to serve for the Hawkeyes. And another serving error. Redbirds will be the beneficiaries this time.
Service error number 4 for Iowa. Starting to pile up a little bit. If you're Jim Barnes, you know what you want to clean up going into that second set.
A couple more substitutions. This time for the Redbirds is Lauren Salata will serve. Sophomore from Westchester, Illinois. Actually went to Nazareth Academy, which is, fun fact, in my hometown of LaGrange, Illinois.
Oh.
Also where J.J. McCarthy went for his first couple of years of high school.
That one I did know, actually. I had a friend up here at the University of Iowa who went to Nazareth Academy as well and mentioned that, yeah, J.J. McCarthy attended there. I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, because of COVID, they shut down the football program, hence why he moved to Florida to continue playing.
Oh, okay.
But
That
the
detail I did
Redbirds,
not know.
the more you know.
The more you know.
Redbirds Redbirds will send it over though. Van Zandt will have it defended as Redbirds will send it back. Ammeraal to Stojanovic. Great dig there from Madison Smith. And the Hawkeyes with a block. They're 1 point away from winning the set.
Stojanovic has some bunnies on her. Let me tell you, it was right before this one. You see her set up again, right over the blockers. And that's the one I want to talk about. How did she get over the double block there and then again, right in front of the net for that kill?
I called it a block. It was a kill. Might be the victim of looking at the roster sheets while that happened. That will be out of bounds off of the shot attempt. And the Hawkeyes take set 1, 25.
Set 2 right now, but those 41 assists was that career high for Ammeraal.
Redbirds to send it over. Good dig by Moisio. Warden will send it back. And a good shot there. Just out of bounds though from Graven Good, and the Hawkeyes will strike first.
Again, still kind of early for the match as a whole, but Jim Barnes keeping a very consistent squad out there for his Iowa team, and I'm sure he'd like to get the same situation yesterday where he was able to get a few freshmen in.
Just goes over the net from Warden. And Saputa's shot attempt goes out of bounds, and the Hawkeyes take a 2-0 lead up on another beneficiary.
Every single member of this Iowa team on the floor right now feels really in sync to me right now. They feel like they know where each other are at every single time the ball's in the air.
Serving error from Warden as that one does not go over the net. First points on the board for the Redbirds.
Doesn't matter how you're feeling. If you can't get it over the net, don't give yourself or your team a chance.
And right back at you is Saputa's serve. Also sailing out of bounds. Hawkeyes now up by 2 once again.
Volleyball does have a big factor with momentum, and you're coming out of the first set with Iowa carrying a lot of that momentum, pulling away. Illinois State can't really afford those mistakes this early in the set if they want to stay in it.
Hawkeyes do great to defend that kill as a big block once again from those front two. It's Graven Good and Guest teaming up once again to make it a 1-point game.
That's what you needed right there. That's what the Redbirds needed. That double block. Graven Good right there on the outside, getting the main contact. That's huge for Illinois State to try to battle their way through and maybe just go back and forth with Iowa in the second set.
I said that was Guest, but that was actually Rogers, the freshman, teaming up with that block. And Van Zandt will get it to go as the Hawkeyes make it 4-2.
I think another reason I feel like Iowa's in sync right now is I feel like they're moving quicker as well. As soon as they touch the ball, everything's quicker. 1, 2, 3, and the ball's already back over the other side of the net.
Ammeraal to serve. Mark will play to Graven Good. Deflected by a Hawkeye, but the Redbirds will retain that point. We'll get a few substitutions as well as it's a 1-point game once again. Ella Craggs to serve, another great setter for this Redbirds team. True freshman already with 54 assists this season, so splitting the time with Clark. But that serve going over the end line, and the Hawkeyes backed up by 2.
Craggs is someone who this Redbird offense has gone through, especially in that opening weekend in that Western Michigan tournament. Didn't do as well to serve there, but trying to bring their team back on this next point.
Van Zandt to serve. Played over by Saputo, trying to save it was Moisio. Maybe that ball was going to go out of bounds, but making contact with it just in case, but it doesn't pay off. And Illinois State, they're going back and forth.
Yeah, you're exactly right there, Charlie. Moisio was a little bit questionable at first. You saw it on her face and then just went for it, thinking, hey, what can hurt if I try to save this point here? Who knows if it would have been out.
Big block from Rogers off of the Stojanovic shot. But it goes out of bounds. The Hawkeyes up by 2 once again.
Yeah, just hit off the side of her hand there. Just a little too much, I guess. And it's a little too hard that it floated out of bounds.
The dig there from Ammeraal. Warden with a big shot. Inbounds, and the Hawkeyes have their lead climb to 3 for the first time in this set.
Warden took a perfect angle on that outside kill there. We'll watch it here again. And she's able to scream it right on the inside of that double block. Knew they were coming outside. If she went back across, she'd get the point.
Craggs to wreck. A little miscommunication there between Schleister and Moisio on the back line. And Illinois State makes it a 2-point game.
And there's 2 transfers. They're just trying to figure out how to play with each other. Of course, the miscommunication that happens when you play with each other a lot, but what about when you're not playing with each other?
Big ace by the freshman, Nikayla Rogers, and it's a 1-point game. It's 7-6 now. She'll serve once again. And once again, Rogers with great placement, once again on the serve, and just like that, the Redbirds tie it up.
Greta Schleister there, who's now being subbed out of the rotation. Just moving back again, something we were talking about in the first set. Instead of churning herself, getting behind the ball a little bit, just carries her wrist back, and as soon as it hits off her, the ball will just carry back with her in the direction she's moving.
The streak ends there for Rogers as that one doesn't make it over the net. Hawkeyes reclaim their lead. It's 8-7.
Very curious about this next point, how Illinois State responds, because you're right there, you're tied. You have a chance to take the lead for the first time in the second set, and just fall short of it there. You don't want to let it slip away while it's still early and you have a chance to claim a lead of your own.
Marquardt's serve goes over the end line, and it's all tied back up once again. It's been a back and forth set so far.
Absolutely. This is exactly how the first set started off there. We saw it again exactly as the first set. A few of those service errors that just float a little too far back.
Ammeraal sets up Whittingstall with the big shot. Stays in bounds, and the Hawkeyes once again will reclaim their lead.
And Whittingstall is something that she did again last year very well also, but see, she's able to just run around to the side of the ball, make sure she knows exactly where she's at in the court, and fire it up the line. She has great awareness of where she's at any given moment.
Great placement of that kill. Is fantastic dig there from Moisio. Van Zandt sends it back over. Clark. It looks like it was deflected, yes, by a Hawkeye. We're all tied once again.
That makes a lot more sense, because I didn't think she pushed it that far outside. Yeah, I see a tip right there by Claire Ammeraal. I didn't think she pushed it that far to try to get it on the line, so that makes sense of why it was so far out.
Ammeraal sends it over. Great save by Rossi. And Ammeraal will send it over again. Hawkeyes now.
Ammeraal attacked right at Abby Reck there for the Redbirds, and she was able to push it down on that block, so when Reck was coming down to block it, she actually pushed it down into the net on herself.
Whittingstall to serve. Craggs will set up Guest. Stays on the Hawkeye side. Ammeraal can't get it over. And the Redbirds will tie it up once again. Just not going away.
Who can pull away in the second set? We'll take another look at that last play there. Ammeraal just a little late on that swing there. And she was trying to guess about how she could get over those blockers.
Rossi to serve. Ammeraal will send it over, and she gets the point right back for the Hawkeyes, and they're back in front for the umpteenth time.
And no second guessing from Ammeraal right there. They're thinking, oh, look, she went straight for it on that one, not trying to guess, not being too late, attacking right at the ball.
She'll serve now. Craggs will go to the opposite side. Big block. Van Zandt was in there. Stojanovic was there as well. They team up. The Hawkeyes will get the first 2-point lead in what seems like forever.
It does seem like forever, Charlie. And I mean, that block there, I don't think you were getting around that wall of Stojanovic and Van Zandt there at all.
Rack Lancer, big dig there from Worden. Van Zandt once again. Just outside, though. Illinois State back within one.
And Zan, who's had a few of those really good looks from the outside, and the second one there that she just floated a little too long. She was set up perfectly, got up on top of the ball, but just doesn't get it down far enough as she's trying to go to that opposite corner. Want to be sharp for the next one. She tries coming down on it just a little bit harder and on top of the ball, so it doesn't float out.
Moisio will send it to Varez. Prags to Guest. Good save there from Moisio. And it's going to be a violation there for the Hawkeyes. And we're all tied up once again.
No one can pull away. Even with a 2-point lead, you take another look to see where that violation was. You saw it back there on Iowa.
It was on Ammeraal. She sends it into Stojanovic. Great pass from Ammeraal, and no mistake by Sashka Stojanovic, and the Hawkeyes reclaim the lead again, 13-12.
You watch a play like that, and you should never question why Ammeraal has as many assists as she does. She's teed up Stojanovic perfectly for the kill.
Big shot there from Guest. Excuse me, that's Rogers. And Illinois State ties it up again.
I just want to finish the point with Ammeraal. Thing just got this float there, but then on the other side for Illinois State, a little bit further back, Iowa defense was moving up a little bit too far, so Illinois State capitalized it and went to that back row.
Abby Reck to serve. Ammeraal will play to Varez, deflected by the Redbirds, and the Hawkeyes just trading with the Redbirds back and forth. We continue to go here in set two.
You get a point. You get a point. Everyone gets a point in this one. And just a missed block there. Nothing really off from Illinois State.
Big shot from Sabuda. And looks like it deflected off of a Hawkeye player on its way to hitting the floor. We'll take another look here.
Illinois State was really quick to slide that to the outside. You saw it. And off there. Gabby Erie.
Ammeraal keeps it in. We'll play it back to Allison Barrett. Big block again for the Hawkeyes. And that one will sail out of bounds. Hawkeyes will not make a play on it. They retake the lead again. And we'll get our first timeout of the set. Hawkeyes in front 15-14 here in Extreme Arena. Set two, a tight one here on Big Ten Plus. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Quite a bit, and there's a good reason for that. She leads the team so far with 6 kills. She has 2 blocks on her line as well.
And we haven't seen Hoshalik and Vesti yet today. We'll see how the rest of this set goes. As Marquardt will send it over for the Hawkeyes. Big dig there from Moisio. And Hawkeyes will have it back. Whittingstall to send it over. Great touch on the shot. Hawkeyes in front by 2.
Yeah, that's just the awareness of where Whittingstall is at. She just slides to the outside and just knows it. Doesn't need anything special. Doesn't need to trying to hit it too hard. She needs to get it over and do her job. And that's how they got the point there.
I think we're over. Big shot by Alyssa Warden with power and determination. Hawkeyes in front by 3 now.
Warden came down after that. She flipped pretty much backwards on the ground. Gladys Monroe.
Probably taken it back from her own power off that shot. Is an ace from Marquardt. Hawkeyes now 3 consecutive points. And another timeout is, you're right, Colin, like a little bit of a back somersault there. And we'll have another, he's had a big impact today as well.
Absolutely, yeah. She was critical yesterday. She's been critical today, trying to move Iowa to that 5-0 record. Again, their best start since 2016.
Redbirds look to send it over. Moisio cannot get the dig there. And Illinois State will get their first point since the previous 2 timeouts.
I was ready for it, Charlie. It was coming right at us. They got the table up in front of us, and that wasn't there. I might have had a chance of bouncing up there.
Do have the boards as well as
Get a lot of protection.
Stream Arena, notably a hockey rink, home of the Heartlanders, and another big kill from Alyssa Warden. We talk about her, and that's on cue. She gets another kill on the board for the Hawkeyes.
She's ready. Shines when the lights are the brightest when we're talking about her. I know it's not maybe the biggest situation. Quick Start Classic, I think, is pretty cool. I think when we talk about her, it's pretty cool. But, you know, she's going to capitalize in any situation no matter what.
Big kill the other way for the Redbirds as they answer to make it a 3-point game. Kennedy Guest with the shot.
Good for the Redbirds coming out of that timeout. A little bit of a reset. Slow down Iowa in their momentum. We talked about at the top of the set. Volleyball. Momentum is huge. And then for Matters, their head coach for the Redbirds, just to slow things down, reset her team. Great call.
Sakura's serve. We talk about momentum, Colin.
Oh my gosh.
Another one that's on cue there is that serve doesn't go over the net. Hawkeyes will look to have some of their momentum come back.
You know I'm back on the mic when I have an announcer's jinx. Apologize to the Redbird fans at home.
Guest sends it over. Good dig there from Marquardt. Van Zandt with a big shot. Big save there from Rossi. Wreck, that one looked like it was going to go out, but saved. Ammeraal sends it back over. Guest will float it over. Marquardt again with a dig. Van Zandt will send it back. Wreck, big block by the Hawkeyes, but Redbirds still recover. Another block, but it gets through. And finally, Gravengood will get it on the board for the Redbirds. Back within 3.
Everything was working right on both sides of the net there. And then just found a slight opening between Van Zandt and Stojanovic right there. And that's how that rally ends.
Rossi with the serve. Ammeraal played behind her to Stojanovic. Not able to defend it are the Redbirds, and Stojanovic will give the Hawkeyes a 4-point lead.
She got a little bit of swagger after that one. You see her find the campfire, and she walks back to meet her team. And you know, she's feeling pretty confident in herself right now, and good reason for that.
Having a fantastic day so far as Wreck with the shot. Big dig from Warden. Van Zandt across. Redbirds looking to answer. Big dig again from Moisio. Van Zandt once again. Defended by Rossi. Wreck will try and send it over. Hawkeyes will defend that one easily. Varas now, big block. Big save again from Moisio. And Varas will send it over again. And the Hawkeyes, off another big rally, they increase their lead to 5.
Well, that's 2 in a row now from Iowa, winning some really tough rallies. That makes you feel pretty confident in yourself. But for Iowa on their defensive side, you see them working well together, and that's why they get to outside the bar. She's set up and ready for it, and things just look great for the Iowa defense right now. So the entire offense can move through them. They set up and make sure, is it going to be a good point? Is it going to be a good set for this Illinois State team? They've done well against tonight so far.
Error there for the Redbirds off the bat, and Hawkeyes off to a good start. A little fortune there.
And right before that timeout, that sent us a break. Iowa was doing well defensively, not letting anything get past them, just making sure they did the simple things right, and now they're getting the easier points out of it.
Ammeraal to set up Varas. Deflected there, but not able to recover off of that was Rogers, and the Hawkeyes with a set point up by 7. There's another look at the Varas kill sent over. Wreck, big dig from Moisio once again. Van Zandt to send it over, not able to recover the Redbirds, and the Hawkeyes will take set number 2, 25-17. It went back and forth a lot in this set for the Hawkeyes.
Volleyball in the country, but if you're Moisio, you don't really want to see yourself outside of the postseason.
Right. Set 3 underway. Hawkeyes looking to close things out, and they start off right off the bat. Hannah Whittingstall with a quick kill, and the Hawkeyes are up first.
And just a reminder again for those that might not be aware, 3 of their 4 wins so far have been 3-set sweeps so far. I mean, and they're teeing up to do the exact same thing. You saw the comparison there, 26 kills to 12 for the Illinois State Redbirds, and that's been a huge difference in this game.
Yeah, going back to their victory against Utah State, including the 2-set wins today, that's 9 consecutive set wins for the Hawkeyes as they put away Cal State, Bakersfield in a sweep, and then swept Butler yesterday. Now with a 2-0 lead against Illinois State, as that shot will go out and the Hawkeyes will reclaim the lead.
The kills thing hasn't been too much of a difference going into this weekend. You look at the kills percent coming into the Quick Start Classic for Iowa, it's about 12.73 kills percent. For Illinois State, 13.3. It's more for Illinois State, yet they are getting crushed on it today.
Big block by Varez. Hawkeyes up by 2, but going back to the kills per set, Colin, I mean, a lot of that probably has to go to the Western Michigan tournament they played last week where they swept the competition.
Yeah, I mean, they did fantastic out there, and we're fine in the first 2 sets yesterday, but yeah, a lot of those numbers, especially for anyone in the country, are going to be skewed with only a few matches.
Big dig by Abby Reck to get the Redbirds back within 1.
That's the weird thing about any number we're going to talk about for any team, any player at this point in the year. It's going to be a little off just because they don't have enough reps underneath them. As the season goes on, that number is going to smooth out into what it really should feel like for that player.
Serving error by Ariana Rossi will get the Hawkeyes back with possession as they have a 4-2 lead.
Iowa, they want to take control of this right on the bat so that they know maybe they can get some other people and try some new stuff and feel comfortable going through the 3rd set.
Ziegler's shot attempt will stay just in bounds. And we're mirroring what we saw in set number 2 as we go back and forth a little bit. And Ziegler off the kill will get subbed out.
See that right there on the outside, just not trying to do too much and pushed it to the back. And of course, you heard it there, Charlie. That one was extremely close.
Very close.
It's ones you don't necessarily want to call as an umpire, I would assume. I'd be worried about calling those.
You wouldn't find me in that situation.
Nope.
Big shot from Stoyanovich, but Illinois State will save. Reck can't get it over the net, though, and the Hawkeyes back up front by 2.
Just didn't get enough air on that one from Reck. I mean, the ball wasn't really placed high enough in general, but she didn't get enough on underneath that ball. It didn't get enough air on it. You saw it right there, just a short little jump, and yeah, not enough to get over the net.
Moisio will serve, sliding in is Rossi. Big shot by Rogers is defended by the Hawkeyes. Varez gets blocked. And it's the same, too, we kept talking about, at least with Gravengood, but Rogers gets in there as well for the Redbirds, back within 1.
Really good. Get outside there. Gravengood.
Call Gravengood's name a lot in the blocks department today as that serve will go out of bounds again. The service errors have been a little high today for both teams, and Hawkeyes this time will benefit.
Well, now it should be 9 service errors for Illinois State and 7 for Iowa. Numbers both of these head coaches won't be very pleased with when they go back and look at this game.
That serve goes just over the net from Marquardt. Rossi just sends it over. And great play by the freshman Rogers, but the Hawkeyes still send it over. Moisio with a big save. Whittingstall sends it over. Franks to set up Gravengood. Hawkeyes again, Warden with the slight touch. Redbirds look to counterattack. And now the Hawkeyes again, Whittingstall to the backcourt. Big rally as Craggs to Saputa. Hawkeyes, big block there again from Rogers. Marquardt all the way to Warden. And Illinois State again with the defense in a big rally. Ends with Illinois State pulling within 1.
for all of these rallies, whether you're Iowa or Illinois State, you just got to keep trying until eventually the other team can't recover, and that's what happened there. Illinois State with the block, and no one's there in time to recover on that block.
Michaela Rogers to serve. Ammeraal with the big kill. Sends it over, does it herself this time. Hawkeyes back in front by 2.
Now Warden goes back to serve, and I want to bring up this point about the service errors. We talked about it a little bit earlier. So 9-7 between the two, but 7 service errors for Iowa. That was a big issue for them last season, was the service errors in general. 7 feels like a little bit of an improvement, but still probably not where you want it to be out of your Jim Barnes and Hawkeyes.
Sapuda's shot will not stay in bounds, and the Hawkeyes will have the first 3-point lead of the set.
Another look at it there, trying from the outside just a little too far. Got a little behind that, and a little flat on the hit.
Another kill attempt. This was Kennedy Guest this time, trying to evade the block attempt from the front line of the Hawkeyes. Just can't keep it in bounds. Warden to serve now for Iowa's. Gravengood will send it in. Big kill. Illinois State back within 3.
You know, I was going to ask you before that point, because that point I didn't see it at all. But the previous view for Illinois State, it kind of felt like, I don't know if you saw it at all, but it felt a little frantic for Illinois State. Just a little bit. I mean, it's kind of fair. You're in the third set, you're down 2-0, you're down early in it. But that one felt clean, calm, and they were collected, and that's why they had that point.
See if they can keep some of that momentum going as they look to send it back the other way. Ziegler keeps it in bounds that time on the kill, and they're back within 2.
That was nice. I gotta give her credit. That was a really good kill from Ziegler. And again, you don't need to try to do so much. You don't need to make it look too fancy. Just find the open spot, and really strong there from Ziegler.
It looks like we're talking things over here briefly.
Looked like we had a clean up on the court.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Clean up on aisle 5. Trader Joe's.
Audrey Clark to serve. Warden will send it over. Rossi with the diving dig. Here's Ziegler again. Ammeraal tipped over by Van Zandt. Big shot from Guest. Gets by the front line, and it's a 1-point game.
She sent it down through aisle 5 for the point right there, didn't she? Right around Van Zandt there. As we see, she goes up and just tips on the inside of her hand there. Wasn't able to slide over enough to make that block.
Fares with a big shot. Excuse me, that was Whittingstall. And Iowa State ties it back up. That's 4 consecutive points. Kennedy Guest again on the kill. And we'll get a timeout here. Illinois State with big momentum coming back the other way with determination to try and get one set on the board as we take a look at that last kill from Kennedy Guest. It's 9-9 here in Extreme Arena. This is Big Ten Volleyball on Big Ten Plus. Redbirds, and we've had nothing short of offensive firepower from both of these teams. It's been a little bit spread upon the wealth, but again, look at the kills there. Iowa 27, Illinois State 18. Not numbers to fret about there.
Yeah, no, I mean, Iowa's been a good, comfortable lead in that category so far today, but Illinois State's battling back a little bit, bought a few back here right before we went to break in that timeout. And Stoyanovich still leads the Hawkeyes in the whole game with 7 kills, which that's been a little stale as of late.
Big dig from Moisio. Ammeraal will send it over. Big kill for her. She's done that a few times today, and the Hawkeyes will reclaim the lead.
And get 28 kills for the Hawkeyes. Keep piling them up. And that's exactly what this game has been made of. That's how each team has really pulled away at one point or another. In that first set, it was the kills from Illinois State. But outside of that, the second half of the first set, the second set, and now here in the third set, Iowa has been in control.
Sapuda, big block from Iowa. That was Ammeraal and Stoyanovich teaming up to get the big block. Iowa in front by 2.
We haven't said Stoyanovich in a little bit. Had to bring her back up. And the blocks is something you expect to be pretty decent in this matchup as well going into this weekend. Iowa 5th in the NCAA in blocks per set. They just trail Illinois State, who's in 4th in blocks per set.
And what a kill there from Kennedy Guest. Just tipping it over the wall. keeping it right in bounds.
If you're able to get around those blocks, I just brought up those numbers, 4th and 5th in NCAA rankings in blocks per set. If you get around that and the kills being prominent in this matchup, I mean, that's a huge factor in this game.
Ammeraal will send it over again. And just like she drew it up, if it worked the first time, why not try it again?
I mean, both teams are strong defensively, but now the offense has been strong on both sides in this, and Iowa has been amazing with it. You see it there again, as you just said, Charlie. Ammeraal sending it right back over the blockers.
Clark to set up Rec. Tipped by the Hawkeyes, but not able to recover, and Illinois State gets it back within one.
Illinois State's not going to let Iowa get too much of a lead at all. They haven't done it throughout the match much. I mean, in the second set, we saw a little bit larger of a lead, especially in the first set towards the end there. It's hard to pull away, but Illinois State battled the whole way. And even if they go out of this with a loss or even a sweep, I feel like they got to be a little bit confident, feel good about what they did against a Big Ten team.
Van Zandt will try and recover there. Moisio sends it over. Clark to tee up Ziegler. Big block by Van Zandt. Doing it on both ends of the court for the Hawkeyes as they get back up by 2.
Now, Van Zandt is a great addition for this team as well. We brought up earlier a transfer from Chattanooga where she was first team All-SoCon with them last year. So she's a powerful player there and comes in and joins an already fairly talented roster.
Big kill the other way for Illinois State. Nikayla Rogers, the freshman. 13-12.
Take another look at that one there, just splitting the field goal of the double block right there. And again, huge for Illinois State and for both teams, as we brought up earlier. Getting through those blocks has been massive, and the kills have been the story of this game so far. It's kill number 20 now for Illinois State. Or excuse me, that should be kill number 21 for Illinois State.
Craggs with a nice serve. The Hawkeyes do a great job. Good block to set it over. And Rogers again with a powerful hit. And it's all tied up.
Grab some popcorn while you have a chance here through this replay. This is going to be a great third set. The power there, getting on top of that, and still sending it to the back row on that. Extremely impressive and really good wherewithal of where she was with the ball.
Look out there as Barron couldn't control that serve from Craggs, and Illinois State will take the lead.
Illinois State lead here in the third set. They're starting to build some momentum, and that one just wasn't able to bring it into the right spot. Just a miss hit there.
Ammeraal to set up Varez. Illinois State again. It's the freshman again. Rogers. Another kill on the board for her, and Illinois State climbing the ladder here.
It was right before our last time out. A 4-0 scoring run for Illinois State. Now they're back on another 4-0 scoring run. They're stringing some stuff together and really feeling in rhythm.
Stoyanovich with a big shot. Stays in bounds. Hawkeyes get it back within 1.
And right as I say, they're feeling in rhythm. Iowa takes the rhythm right back. That's what they need right there, though. You don't want any team to get too much of a lead. And I mean, Illinois State's done great about that. Let's see Iowa, their chance to trail. Do they let Illinois State get away?
Craggs to set up Rec the other way. Dig from Emily Lavin. Warden to send it the other way. Not able to get it to Sepulveda. And the Hawkeyes tie it up.
It kind of sounds a little backwards, but for Jim Barnes, head coach for the Iowa Hawkeyes, sure, you don't ever want to see your team trail, but Claire Ammeraal has been amazing in bouncing this team back with 6 kills right there. That's what you want to see. How do they react when they're trailing? Claire Ammeraal has been amazing with helping them bounce back.
Had an assist on that last kill for the Hawkeyes as that shot attempt from the Redbirds goes past the end line, and the Hawkeyes take the lead right back.
Sending it way too far back there, and the job from Iowa's even to get out of the way.
This is Lavin again to serve for Iowa. Ravigan will send it over. Big shot from Whittingstall. Defended there by Illinois State. Graven good again. She'll get it to land this time, and it's all tied up again.
Merritt Lavin might just come in to serve a few if the situation is right. That's what we saw there. But Illinois State was great at just setting themselves up, taking their time, getting the ball right where they wanted offensively, and striking for the point.
Back to serve, and look out there, an error once again. Allison Barrett can't control that one, and Illinois State reclaims the lead.
Great job there, just couldn't fall back on it enough, and that's when you see that back row screwed up a little bit. If you get it back there, it's going to be hard for them to recover and get themselves set up for maybe the returning.
Fares with a big shot. And we're tied again, and once again, like the beginning of the second set, back and forth we go.
This is the most back and forth I think we've seen, honestly. Even in the second set when it was back and forth, Iowa usually had a 1-2 point lead, and Illinois State was just chipping away at that deficit. Now it's just truly tied up. Illinois State leads, Iowa leads. Best set we've seen so far today. Both teams have a good feel of each other and know how to attack.
Craig's still in there, and Rogers, a flamethrower right now in the kill department, gets Illinois State the lead once again.
And you see a flamethrower. You know how that one's a strong point. Look back at the Illinois State bench. They didn't do a celebration where they've been flapping their arms like a bird, and I thought that was awesome. I looked right at them, and I didn't see it. So I was a little disappointed, then I realized, no, they're just fired up for their teammate with a really strong kill.
6 kills on the day for Rogers, 4 in very recent memory so far. At least on this little run she's been going on. Is they'll try and get it back. Rogers again. Excuse me, no, that's Kennedy Guest this time for the Redbirds. And Illinois State with a 2-point lead.
And it goes to the point of what you were saying coming out of the break, Charlie. The wealth has been spread out on both sides of the net.
Big block attempt there from the Redbirds. Just can't get it over the net. Whittingstall with a nice kill, and the Hawkeyes make it a 1-point game.
That's what happens when you force one right there towards the line. They have to be perfectly in position. You saw she wasn't. She was still trying to get to the outside. And if you're not right there perfectly set up, it's going to be really difficult to block it, return it, or just recover it.
Alyssa Warden to serve for Iowa. Raven good defense there from the Hawkeyes. She'll try again, and she'll connect. Illinois State with 20 for the first time today.
Oh, they want to keep playing. They don't want to fall in a match here at the Quick Start Classic. They are in a really good spot right now in this third set to send us to a fourth. They've been connecting well, and I think they have a really good game plan coming into this third set.
See Audrey Clark come into the game for the Redbirds as Whittingstall answers right back for the Hawkeyes to make it 20-19.
Iowa, not a team you're going to really pull away from at all. So Illinois State has to stay concentrated, locked down on every single point. Again, they start off with 11 straight set victories to open up the season. Reverse sweep yesterday, now looking for the reverse sweep in their favor against Iowa.
Big shot from Ziegler, goes out of bounds, and it's tied at 20.
Oh boy, these final few points are going to be really intense. I know Iowa does not want to drop a set whatsoever, and Illinois State is not a team you can slack on, especially in this third set. They've looked phenomenal.
Whittingstall to serve again. Yes, with a big kill, gets through the front wall. Illinois State back in front.
Just pushed it hard enough through that wall of Stojanovic and Van Zant. Illinois State takes that 1-point lead.
Here's Olivia Saputa. Serve for the Redbirds. Ammeraal will send it over. Rossi briefly kept it up, but Illinois State not able to send it back over. It's tied at 21.
That's where Ammeral's IQ comes in. When you're on the serving team, it's really hard to get back in position quickly enough. If Ammerall can try to catch him off guard, send it over quickly, it's more likely that they won't even have to try to recover a return from Illinois State.
You saw that on that play to the Redbirds, thinking that that was going to go over there from Rossi, just little miscommunication there as they go back the other way. Ziegler. Big.
Oh,
wow. I was going to say big kill, but on the dig, it goes back to the other side of the net, and the Hawkeyes put this away. But for the Hawkeyes, upcoming schedule, they'll play Loyola Chicago tomorrow to finish up this tournament. You'll find that on Big Ten Plus. Then they'll play Southeast Missouri, and then Murray State and Weber State back here in Iowa City. And for the Redbirds, they'll play Butler on Saturday, and then we'll be back at home in Bloomington Normal to play Miami, Cincinnati, and Illinois next weekend. So big upcoming schedules for both of these teams. Well, we're looking for a result here in set 3. Iowa trying to put it away, 3 points away from doing so. Illinois State trying to claw back, making this a 2-1 difference here as Ammeraal will get things started for the Hawkeyes. As Guest with a big kill to immediately tie things up.
I think the message for Illinois State coming out of break there is stay calm. The best of their points have been when they've been collected and calm and just stay confident in themselves when they've tried to work too quickly, when they've been a little panicked. Everything's gone awry for them, especially offensively. So I think the message is to stay calm and trust yourself.
Stojanovic will send it over for the Hawkeyes. Ziegler, big dig from Ammeraal. Moisio will put it up. Fares, though, can't get it over. And Illinois State is back in front, 2 points away from making this a 2-1 set lead for the Hawkeyes, and we'll get another timeout as we'll have another look.
You see Fares there just didn't hit it hard enough. I think in those situations, it's just a result of overthinking the situation, thinking too hard about where your placement is. So we're glad to bring everyone along with us, and this has been a joy to watch, a joy to call, especially this third set, as you mentioned there, Charlie. The back and forth has been beautiful and everything you can ask for as a volleyball fan. The offense, the defense, the kills, the blocks, you're getting every bit of it today.
Rossi to serve. Stojanovic gets blocked there from Rogers. She'll try again, and she'll get it to go this time, as Clark cannot get it to stay in bounds, and the Hawkeyes tie it up.
Now here's the situation for Iowa, 23-23. If they want to get out of this without extending this third set, they need to win the next 2 points consecutively. Reminder for fans who aren't too familiar, they need to win by 2.
Ziegler can't get it over, big block from Warden, and a match point incoming for Iowa.
Here come the fans to get on their feet. Iowa looking for their 4th sweep of the season and their first here in their home floor.
We'll get a timeout here. Is a crucial serve in the 4th set. They have to score 3 consecutive points to do so, unless we have a little bit of back and forth here. Here's the match point. Van Zant to serve. Rogers will send it over, and we're going to be tied at 24, so that now the first to 26 will win the set. And we're quickly, no.
I'll make the take right now, and maybe I'll jinx myself again, but I think this will go more than 26. I think they're going to go a little bit further back and forth. Moisio thought maybe that was going to be out and just fell back on it, and as she watched back, you saw her face as she realized that was in, and this third set's going to be extended.
Ella Craggs to serve. Stojanovic with a big kill. Hawkeyes in front 25-24. They'll have another match point incoming.
This is the best this atmosphere has felt all day, Charlie. In this exact situation Iowa wants to be in control, having the serve on the match point.
Emily Lavin comes in to serve. Played there by Rossi. Big block. Redbirds recover though. Here's Gravengood. Gets it over. And Ammeraal can't get the dig. And Illinois State ties it up at 25.
Just floated down to the ground. Would have been really hard to get a dig there, especially so close to the net. And even if you do get down there, that one's probably going right back up into the net. You're not going to be able to recover that one. So nice placement there from the Redbirds. And while they clean up the court, again, I got to take a little past 26. I really thought for a second maybe it wasn't. I was going to jinx myself. But this is an incredible third set, Charlie. And Who knows how long this one will go on for.
Abby Reck getting ready to serve for the Redbirds. 25-25 is the score in set 3. Ammeraal to Warden. Deflected, and the Hawkeyes will get the point. And another match point incoming.
That makes a lot of sense of why it popped up there on the net. I wasn't sure at first. I didn't originally see it get tipped, but Alyssa Warden was right at that thing. You'll see it right here. I looked really close there, but just over the top and pops up off their fingers.
This is Jamie Marquardt, who's seen a lot of serving action today. Rossi with a big save. Big block for the Hawkeyes, and they will conclude this matchup. 27-25. Ammeraal was in there on the block. I believe Stojanovic was there as well, but the Hawkeyes with their 4th sweep of the season, and they improved to 5-0.
The first sweep here in front.